Hey guys, welcome to my loadout video. I've had a few requests for this, so let's get it started. I'm going to start off with my head, work my way down, and kind of go over why I got some of the gear, how it works with my gameplay style, and hopefully you'll get some good information out of this. Alright, so starting at the top, I got my helmet mask setup. This is all kind of custom made by me, and if you're interested, I have a video dedicated just to this. But the basic components are standard fast style replica helmet. It's just a plastic helmet with nice padding. What I like about these is they have a adjustment screw at the back, so you can get the helmet really tight on your head. You need it sitting a little higher or lower, so it works nicely with your goggles, nothing sagging. I really like it a lot. I would recommend getting one with some vented holes up here. Unfortunately I didn't, so that's something to look for when you're buying it. It'll probably keep you just a little bit cooler. These things can get a little hot. Moving down, I have my revision goggles here, Desert Locust. And what I've done is run the bungee from the helmet through the place where the band usually goes, and that hooks onto these hooks. And these hooks have multiple purposes. They go through here. They hold the headset in place so it doesn't fall out. It's all just one piece. And then the mesh mask down here, I removed the band, and I'm running some bungees off of here that hook up to the hooks on the bungees on the helmet, and all that hooks into these fisheye hooks. So everything gets pulled back. It's all one piece. I don't have straps going around here. It's all just one cohesive unit, and there's already enough stuff going on. I don't want straps getting in the way, and it takes about maybe 30 seconds to put it on properly. Since the original helmet video, I've added this TYR pouch out back, and I'm using it to store my kill rag. Up front here I have my GoPro mount. It's a GoPro Hero 3. I've painted the case. The mount setup is custom. Again, I have a video on this separate from the helmet video, and this gives me a really good point of view without getting in the way of iron sights or any of that stuff. So that's basically the helmet setup. Underneath I have a head sock, just in the Ranger green, and that just makes it a little more comfortable on my face. I don't have like wire mesh and all these goggle pieces and metal bands touching me directly on the skin or the head. Also soaks up sweat, so that's just a little extra comfort level. So let me get rid of this. You'll see how it comes off, and I'll move further down. Alright, let's move down to the weapon. At this point I have my VFC 416 on here. If you watched any of my videos, you notice I tend to use a lot of different guns. I picked this just because it is my favorite gun if I'm just trying to get kills. So it's my go-to gun as a backup if something goes wrong with whatever gun I'm using or trying to use that day. I have my EOTech on here. It's a 5.51 model. And I tend to move this from gun to gun, anything with a rail that I can stick it onto, because I really like having the optic that I can keep both eyes open with. It really helps get on target and that first shot land where you need it to, instead of what people do is shoot and then walk the BBs in. Up here I have a Enforce WML flashlight, and I'm trying out this whole 2-grip thing right now with the angled foregrip and the stubby vertical grip. The mags, I'm using P-mags that I've shaved down to fit into a 416. Also a video on this if you're interested. I've changed the stock to a Magpul stock just to match the rest of the furniture to give it that tan and black look. And this gun has been wired into the buffer tube, and so I don't have to deal with any of these ugly peg boxes up here. But like I said, if you see my videos, I'm not really a one gun type of guy, and that will explain why I have some of this gear and where I have it. Alright, so onto my chest rig. It's a Blue Force gear, Molly minus I believe, and I have a couple of M4 pouches up here, and here I have some 7.62 pouches here. The reason it's set up this way, as you can see, I could house M4 mags here, AK mags. Sometimes I'll have my Tornado up front here, and you can see this thing retains really well, but you can pull it out one hand when you need to. And even when I'm running my revolver, I could house my speed loaders in here. So it's very versatile. Takes care of pretty much anything, 5.56, small stuff up here. If I'm using something larger like an M14, or when I use my SVD at Black Shield, I had my SVD mags in here. You could also put like your gloves here or anything temporarily. So there's not much to it really. I just have 4 pouches in here. On the back it's very minimal, just enough to hold it to your body without moving. It's really good. You could put stuff away one-handed, pull stuff one-handed, retains well. You could hang upside down, nothing's going to fall out. So I'm a big proponent of Blue Force. I really like their stuff. Another reason I chose to have a minimal vest up here is so I could have a lot of the useful stuff down here. This is kind of the theory I got from DJ from Airsoft Extreme. It's the 2-gun setup. So if I'm using a rifle, I'll use both my pistol belt and my chest rig. But if I'm using something like just a pistol or my shotgun, for example, or when I use my lever action, I might get rid of the chest rig because I don't need magazines up here. I don't need shotgun shells up here. I could run it all on my pistol belt. So really the idea is to stay light and mobile and only bring what you need to. So if I don't need magazines, this thing is going off. I'm just running a pistol belt. So when I am using just a pistol or just a shotgun, this will be my basic loadout. Nothing going on up here. And that'll keep me quicker, it'll give me more mobility. Down here I have kind of the essential stuff to reload mags, gas, grenades, whatever. Stuff that's applicable to both using a pistol, using a rifle, whatever. So my go-to secondary is this KJW KPO7. This is kind of a hybrid of the modern version and the M1 World War II version. Upper-lower type thing. I really like this gun. It's CO2 powered. Sometimes CO2 can be troublesome, but when it works, it's got a really nice kick, good accuracy, good consistency. And I like the fact that it's a 1911, not a high capita design, but it is double stacked, so it gives you a lot of capacity and you don't really feel outgunned by most other weapons. Down here I have my Serpa holster with the Molly adapter, so that's on my belt pretty much all the time. Even if I'm using a different pistol, I might have this as a backup to the pistol. Here I have a couple of horizontal pouches. This one houses a speed loader as well as a Allen key to pop in CO2. And down here I have some extra CO2, conveniently enough. Here I have my dump pouch, and I know most people put them in the back or on the side. I kind of moved it up here when I was doing my revolver gameplay because I had to dump out the shells somewhere in front of me. I couldn't have it behind me or transfer that behind me. It would just be a big mess. So I moved it to the front, and I kind of like it because when you're reloading, you could pretty much just dump mags right in there when you go grab a fresh one. So that's more of an airsoft thing, because obviously in real world you're not worrying about saving your mags. But in our world, it's very important to save mags and keep them from dropping. It's easy to get to, and unlike when it is on the side, you tend to not run into as much stuff. I remember I actually had a Blue Force gear dump pouch, and once you put a mag or two in there, it's just swinging all over the place, hitting everything. So I didn't like that. So my dump pouch is up front now here as high as possible to get out of the way. Here I have a camera mount. There's no camera in it at the moment, but that's kind of a camera I'm experimenting with. It's an upward facing camera. You can see it in a couple of my recent gameplay videos. Here I have two double pistol pouches. Again, Blue Force gear. You can see retains well, easy to take out, easy to put in, and they're not going anywhere. I've never had one fall out. On the side here I have my mount for my GoPro remote. Here is a really long vertical pouch, and this is sort of a catch-all. Behind it I house a knife, just for the rare occasion I could go for a knife kill. And this pouch can house like an extended pistol magazine, P90 mag, MP7 mag, something like that. Again, versatility for all the different weapons I use. The pouch back here I use for gas, if I'm using a gas pistol or rifle. Back here is my BB pouch, and I have this BB bottle from days past. What's cool about these is as you go through BBs, your bottle shrinks. So let's say you used up this much of the BBs, you could then collapse the bottle, tighten it up, put the cap on, and you get a little less rattling than you would with a normal bottle. On the back I have some electrical tape because it's a magic tool that fixes everything, and that pretty much takes care of my vest and pistol belt setup. It's either both used in combination with each other or just this. As you can see, it's pretty minimal, just the essentials. I don't have any decorative stuff on here just for looks or whatever. Everything I have is functional, and if I don't use it, I try to get off my kit. So recently I kind of switched to more of a contractor look because I felt weird using Marine Digital, which is what I was using, the AOR1. Especially when you on the way to an event or on the way back and you stop to get gas, you get that weird thank you for your service look. I got rid of that. I'm using the LBX Glacier Gray shirt, and I have my old patch here that's all beat up, but it's a one of a kind, so I'm keeping that. It has adjustable Velcro up here, so you can get your sleeves nice and tight. I like them tight. Some people like to roll them back or have them loose. I like them nice and tight so nothing gets in there and you don't have any exposed skin. Prevents welts and all that stuff. And you have Velcro area up here for patches. I'm using a standard belt here. One tip I would have about the belt is don't put the buckle in the middle, put it off to the side, because this is where you're doing all your bending, and the less junk you have up here, the more flexible you'll be and more comfortable you'll be. Pants are by Ops Tactical or something like that. I'll put a link in the description. I think they're a knockoff of the Cry pants. I like them because they have the built-in knee pads. They tend to do some sliding and you're not destroying your knees. And they have adjustable Velcro all around, so you could really tighten it up if you need them a little higher, a little looser, a little wider. Like them a lot. The gloves I'm using are pig gloves. I like them a lot. You're able to manipulate touch screens with them, so that's a plus. They give you good dexterity. The shoes are just some Big 5 shoes made by Avia. They're hiking shoes. They're really light, and I like them because they're tan. You know, you got to match. I would recommend getting something light, like shoes, like running shoes or hiking shoes, or some really light boots. I would not recommend boots unless you're going through some treacherous environment, but for my gameplay, mostly indoors, sometimes out in desert areas, boots are overkill. These shoes are just fine. Perhaps a little less beat up, but they work really well. Alright you guys, so that kind of wraps it up for my loadout. As you can see, it's very light, very simple. I don't have a lot of unnecessary stuff. Everything I have I like to use. So hopefully you guys found this helpful. If you want me to go over anything in more detail, leave a comment below. Please subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.